Hi, my name is Kelly Gilson, and I'm the Executive Director with United Way Oxford. And it is my pleasure to welcome Diane Harris, who is the Executive Director for Ingamo Homes here in Oxford County. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Kelly. It's great to be here.
Well, thanks for taking time to come in and tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing at Ingamo Homes and how we as partners and investors can work together to support your initiatives to help women and their children move forward into healthy futures and why that really matters here across our county. So thanks for joining us. And I think the first question I have for you is really if you could tell us a little bit about what Ingamo Homes actually is, just in case people aren't familiar.
It's a second stage transitional housing program for women with children or women without children to come in after leaving an abusive situation. The time frame for transition is anywhere from a year to 2 years to 2.5 years, but with the housing crisis, we've had to extend that. Most of our programs deal with education around violence, around what has happened to women, but most of our programs really want to really take a look at the strength that women have, because abuse happens to people, but it's not who they are. So we want to ensure that women know that even walking through that door or making the application to that program, that's a strength. And on that strength, they can find all those hidden gems that are within them to make them go forward and to maybe change and to have a really different life than what they had prior to that.
I love that it's strength based, and it's meeting women and their children in particular where they are with what they need at that particular time. We're going to loop back to the housing piece, I think, by when we start to wrap up this session. But before we get there, United Way has been, through the years, we have funded a number of different programs that your organization has provided. And it really fits with when we talk about, it fits almost all of our priority areas, really, if you think about it, moving people from poverty to possibility, building strong communities with healthy people, and ensuring that kids can be all that they can be. So you really do run the gamut across our priority areas. And in particular, in the last few years, we've been funding your supportive mothering program. And could you tell us a little bit about what that program is?
So it's a program, it's an intervention program for women with children who may have experienced violence, may have grown up in a violent home, and it takes a look at how they can change what they've learned from their childhood. The program really looks at generational abuse, substance abuse, and how that impacts children in the family. So it really takes a look more at how we all parent the way that we have seen. We don't even know sometimes how we parent. This shines a light on the mom's relationship with her parents, how it impacted her, what she learns, what is abuse. Then she looks at developmental factors of where the children are in her care, what is happening, what should be, what's a normalized behavior for a child, how to really look at parenting in a child-centered way and not a parent-centered way, because children only they can only act on their developmental stages. So it's really a learning opportunity, learning what has happened to them. Again, that happened to them, but that's not who they are, and they can make changes. And most of the women that have come through the program are really excited to learn a new way of parenting and a new relationship with their own children.
Well, and it's never easy parenting. I mean, there's always challenges, and we only know what we know, and to be able to actually have a program that's there with really strong supports underneath it to help step back, reflect, to learn, and to be able to know that there are better opportunities and an ability to improve relationships and parenting, like that is so important, and that can change, not only change the mom's life, but the children's lives forever.
And it can change all family dynamics.
That's right.
So it really has a great impact. And just knowing what they so-called say is a normal stage in a child's life. It is not something that the child is angry with mom. Mom might have grown up in a home where everyone was angry, and she takes it on. And there's lots of shame that comes with living in abuse or having that kind of background. And that shame also really reflects on how you parent. So it's breaking away all those chains, breaking away all those myriads of other things that doesn't have to be there.
And this is a program that is tried and true and tested. It's some of the best practices, best opportunities out there. And Diane, is it a program that's limited to the women that are residents at Ingamo Homes?
No, not at all. We take referrals from Children's Aid Oxford, from Family Violence Counseling Program, from Domestic Abuse Services Oxford, and anywhere that people are seeing families that may benefit from this program. Ingamo does offer it to the residents that are there, of course. But we have 28 people on the wait list for our next program, which is hopefully going to start in October.
Okay, that's wonderful. And I think it's important to also know that this program, as well as all your services, serve all of Oxford.
Yes, they do.
And it's for women of all different backgrounds and ages and experiences. It really is there to serve women who need some assistance.
Absolutely, and with your funding, we were able to provide transportation from far away as Tillsonburg and Embro and Princeton and all those other little areas that are farther away from the core of Woodstock. Mm-hmm. We make sure that everyone has the same opportunities, whether it be transportation or maybe hopefully finding a volunteer driver that could commit to 12 weeks. It's a very valuable program.
Because lack of transportation options is a real barrier for a lot of programs and services.
Absolutely. As you know, our county is so wide and so vast. Mm-hmm. And part of being in an abusive relationship is isolation. So isolation, you may not have a car, you may not have means to get one. You may be out in a far wooded area.
Right.
We want to make sure that we can combat a lot of those.
Fantastic. And as we wrap up, I'd like to swing back around to the housing piece. And as you said, Ingamo Homes is second stage transitional housing with a goal that women and their children then move on to their own independent, stabilized housing. Mm-hmm. But we know that there is an affordable housing crisis here and everywhere. This is not in Oxford County. This is everywhere. But could you maybe speak for a moment about the challenges that's presenting to the women you're serving?
It's a real challenge because our program is really based on having the programs to be about a year to 2 years long. After that, women have already gone through everything that they needed to partake in, but there is nowhere for them to move on. 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms in our county is at least 7 to 10 years wait list. It's really difficult, and then it also takes different dynamics within a program.
So that 7 to 10 year wait list is for a geared to income housing unit, right?
Yeah, so, because any kind of unit right now is so out of reach.
So expensive.
You cannot, you just can't get an apartment the way we used to be able to get apartments. No. And it
just adds to the complexities and the challenges that you're seeing and that all of our other partners are seeing as well.
And food and housing is the basic right of everybody, and those are very difficult to get, and everything's getting more expensive. So where do you cut the line to look for that affordable housing?
Yeah, and the idea that you can just budget accordingly actually really doesn't work when there's not enough money to budget accordingly, right? Diane, thank you so much for joining us today and talking about Ingamo Homes, and in particular some of the programs and supports that United Way is able to provide to allow you to do, you and your team, the good work that you do.
Thank you.
Our volunteers and our team here, it's a pleasure to support. We see the outcome and we know you're making a difference in people's lives, and we are proud to be a part of that difference. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And all the volunteers.
Absolutely. And I encourage everyone to stay tuned for upcoming interviews. We will continue to speak with some of our funded partners and our community partners to talk about programs and services and needs across our county to better understand some of the social service sector here doing amazing work in Oxford County. Thank you very much.